Episode 170, Standing Out. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. I'm Trey Griggs with Beta Consulting Group. We are so excited to have you here today. Coming to you from the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, where we're going to have the TIA Technovations 2022 conference kicking off tonight. Super excited about that. Great to be out here with some sunshine and great weather and to meet some incredible people in the transportation industry and learn about some new technology. So it's going to be an awesome week here. Excited to be here. And thanks so much for being a part of the show today. Got an awesome show today, and we've had great shows all week. If you haven't caught the shows this week, make sure you go back and catch them on demand. You can see those on LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, or you can just go to the YouTube channel and look at all the Standing Out episodes and go back and check them out. Had some awesome guests so far this week. Today's guest I'm super excited about. Tomorrow, Chad Olson of AVRL doing some crazy good things in the industry. Friday, my good friend Lauren Metzen of 123 Loadboard is going to be on the show, along with some other surprises from the event. So make sure you tune in every day, 10:30 a.m. Central, for an episode of Standing Out. Want to make sure we thank our sponsor, TAFS, the good guys in freight factoring, for supporting the show. They are helping owner-operators and carriers keep those wheels turning with cash flow resources, discounts on fuel, tires, and so many other things. So make sure you check them out at tafs.com and let them know that Trey sent you, especially if you are behind the wheel of a truck. And if you are behind the wheel of a truck, thank you so much for everything that you do. You guys are the heroes of the supply chain, keeping this economy going. We appreciate you so much. If you want to make it even easier on yourself, just click on the link that's going to be in the comments today. That takes you right to my landing page so they know that I sent you. I got to get credit for this, folks. So, help us out. But definitely check them out. They're the good guys in freight factoring, going to help you guys out. And listen, if you're a freight broker, you can become a referral partner as well and work with all those carriers that you have every day, making sure they have all the resources that they need. So thank you so much to TAFS. We appreciate the support. And while you're online surfing, you might as well check us out at betaconsultinggroup.com and see how we are helping companies move out of the realm of obscurity to become known and trusted in order to grow revenue. Fill out a form. We'd love to work with you and hear your stories. We're excited about that. And you might as well pick up a little swag while you're there. Be a part of our community. Pick up a water bottle. We got a coupon code for you this month. It's October. It's almost the end of October. I can't believe it's going so fast. But this month, the coupon code is SPOOKY, all capital letters, SPOOKY, to get 20% off your entire order. And when it shows up, take a picture and send it to us. We want to see you with the swag. And every time you look at it, remember to be excellent today. That's what we're all about here, pursuing excellence and creating that community that is doing that. All right. Well, listen, hey, we've got to get our guests on the show today. We've got a lot of great things to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. This man has become an incredible friend of mine and a mentor of mine and a collaborator. Love working with him so much. One of the smartest and sharpest guys in the industry and just one of the most friendly guys I know. Going to love hearing from him today. So please welcome to the show my good friend, Nathan Misirian. Nathan, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, great seeing you. I thought I'd stand out today and wear my brightest pink shirt in the closet.
I love it.
Looking kind of match up with opposite of your blue color.
I love it, man. You're on brand. It is so good to see you. Thanks so much for being on the part of the show again. This is round 2 for us. And I will let you know that the last time we were on a show together, I was also coming to you from Phoenix. So this is the thing. Apparently, when I come to Phoenix, you got to be on the show. That's the deal.
Yeah, love that. Love that.
All right.
Thanks
so
for
real
having
quick.
me again.
Absolutely, man. Real quick, for those who may not know who you are, take 30 seconds just to talk about you and your career in marketing, specifically with SEO.
Well, first, again, thank you, Trey, for having me. You are a great friend, and I love our collaboration, both professionally and personally. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm Nathan Misirian, president of Autumn Consulting. My unique specialty is been able to master how Google's algorithms work every month and both teach or help our clients in logistics stay ahead of the curve when it comes to being on page one for a trusted result. I think that's why, Trey, we get along so well, because you care about know, like, and trust when it comes to branding. And when it comes to organic search marketing, being known and trusted oftentimes is found in that organic result. So we have some
We're going to talk. We're going to talk more about that throughout the day. Thanks so much to those who are in the comments. Our friend Jennifer Carpus Romaine is in there, and of course, she had to highlight Spooky because she's a Halloween fanatic. So thanks so much for being a part of the show. And Brad Reinhardt, good morning, buddy. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a part of the show. Appreciate that. Scott Watanabe just jumped in. We got a lot of great people in the audience today, so it's going to be fun. All right, so Nathan, let's jump back a little bit. We had the chance to get to know each other through TMSA. Yeah. We met there. We became friends from that point, and I got to learn a lot about what you do on the SEO side, and you got to learn a lot about what I do on the content side, which is really cool. Let's dig into that a little bit and talk about the SEO and the marriage of SEO and storytelling to really help a brand grow. When you think about that, what are some thoughts that come to mind regards to SEO, the value of that, and the storytelling that comes behind it?
I love that question. Let's dig in together. So typically when I'm interacting with a logistics company, they have a primary need, which is to grow inbound leads. They want to get outside the current known marketplace to maybe it's a new service that they don't know is really existing, or they're going into new territory, and they just know that next generation of people are searching online, whether there's engineers, folks in logistics in some role, even sales support folks are always looking for new opportunities to be found. So what I find is missing is a compelling story. So let's just take freight brokerage. Who isn't selling freight brokerage these days? Lots of people are.
That's right.
But you don't find 25 freight brokers stacked up against each other on Google. There are things that separate that out. And a great storytelling could be culture, value proposition, could be holistic services. There's more than just the direct service. So that's where I see folks like you saying, what's that brand promise? How does that get experienced by the future customer? And then I can take those stories married with the actual keywords that real people are searching and put that together, craft it in a way, it's programming, content writing, and metrics to actually see those results live, follow that path down to inbound quality leads. I'll just say one more thing. It's important that SEO ideally is part of a holistic marketing structure. Okay, so email, social is super important, which is why I love teaming up with you, because you provide those other services where SEO might be, as you say, the leadoff hitter oftentimes.
Yeah, and this has been a great collaboration with us. I love working with you on this because it really completes the whole package. Yeah. Because the one guaranteed unique factor, and we'll just use freight brokerage since that's what we're talking about today, but the one unique guaranteed factor for each one is their story. They have a different story of how they became a freight broker, what they value, what's important, what commodity they like to move, what's different about their service. Like that's the unique aspect that can complete that story. And it's incredibly exciting to do that with you. Talk to me about SEO specifically. A lot of people do SEO. A lot of people think they know about SEO, but what we find oftentimes is that there's a disconnect between what they think they're getting and what they actually could be getting from an SEO perspective. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand out from others that do SEO and really get those wow moments like you talk about for clients?
So number one way we stand out is we are the only firm that is reading, understanding, and applying every month Google's changes to the algorithms. So it's not super fancy to say we're algorithm first, but we do take a more scientific method that if we can understand how Google, which is just a big computer system, processes results, we can reverse engineer that and help individual clients leverage that for their own site. We are very strong on the discipline of seeing that through. So people are not attracted to us because of my face or an amazing TV campaign. That's not us. But if you want the understanding of the algorithm, monthly diligence, and then measure it, we like to say full transparency. That's how we are blessed to have long-term client relationships, where on the opposite side, you might get a splash and dash. What I mean by that, somebody updated a new banner. It might look great, but has no keywords. Or somebody knows only a portion of the algorithm, let's say a title tag, they do it, but don't understand why it doesn't work. Often, Trey, I know you've seen this on calls we've been on together. Often, by the time they find us, they have already chewed up and spit out SEO firms, I put that in air quotes, because nobody is algorithm specific, don't know how to communicate that the marketing way, and aren't willing to measure it, what I'll call our substantial metrics, not vanity metrics. Real quick, vanity metrics would be, oh, your page showed up 1,000 times this month. But if I got no inbound leads, or
Right.
leads I got weren't quality, well, what's the point of it? And we're about continuing to refine that in a very transparent way. Last thing I'll just say, I'm also very relational. So I enjoy having the conversation with the client. Yes, I'm passionate about the algorithm, but more importantly, how does it move their business ahead?
Yeah, and I love the fact that you really want long-term relationships. I think that speaks volumes to what you believe in, what you can do for clients, and what you have done for them. Because people who don't love long-term relationships, it's usually because they're not successful and they don't last. And so I think that's really, really important. And when you think about the scientific aspect of SEO, and then the search results, but then you marry that with the content, the website content, with the
That's right.
blogs, with social media, that's when it really all comes together. Talk about the importance of the content on the website, the structure, the view when people come to it, the messaging, all of that to really create a dynamic product.
Well, I love to. Feel like I'm going to sit back in my lazy boy, put my feet up, and tell you all about it.
Please do.
Key things are every month, Google will reshuffle the deck on search results. One of the key metrics is it checks the date and time, particularly the home page or any other page in the main navigation. So that's why we often suggest an ongoing blogging strategy, not for the sake of blogging purely, but by demonstrating regular, fresh content. That's one. More than the date itself, it's the intentionality of what we're writing about. So let's just take the freight broker example, and we can use other examples. We can do warehousing or transportation. But if there is an owner-founded second or even third generation story, after a while, you can't keep telling that same story. But what you can do is tell the story from a prospect's point of view for that customer. What was your first impression like working with X, Y, and Z company or X, Y, and Z technology company in logistics? You can tell the value story in just a different way. Our role is not to write the content, but we'll read and interpret the content, insert the words that real people are looking for, that then that article gets found. So that means they're not searching for culture. They're not searching for founders, but they might be looking for family-owned freight brokerage, or they might be looking for personal relationships in brokerage potentially. And that's you use the term marriage, but that's the blending of how that happens together. How SEO relates to social is we look at social as an influencer for the Google results. So did you know that for most companies in logistics and other B2B dynamics, there is a very low crossover from a social platform to the client's website? But social is important because you're creating brand awareness. And from an SEO standpoint, you want to educate people on the phrases that you want to stand out about. So later, when they're in a meeting or they're on their phone, they're having an afternoon coffee and they do a search, social has influenced their thought process with SEO-based phrases. And guess what? The organic SEO is designed for that result to appear on page one. And the prospect says, that's who I need to talk to. So that's kind of the picture of how that works together.
Yeah, I love that blending, that marriage of the SEO results and the content in order to produce those types of results, which is powerful. When you think about this from perspective of communicating to CEOs out there, because some CEOs become skeptical, some CEOs are like, I don't know if this is worth it or wanting to invest in it. How do you answer that when you're talking to a CEO about the value of SEO and what they're going to get for it? Because I think at the end of the day, what do they want to see? They want to see results.
Yeah. So what I've learned is that at the end of the day, nobody really cares about SEO, to make it really honest. What they really care about is what results does it produce and how you do those results in a way that can feel tangible. And because most have had a bad experience, I hear two common things are the concerns. One is they'll say somebody in our team has already tried it. And that may be somebody in IT. It may have been somebody in marketing. Often I find it's a family member, maybe somebody who's college age, who's done it, and whatever happened, it was happenstance. Didn't really get through. The other side is that they've, quote, hired a firm that's done it, but it kind of washed out, didn't last. I had one CEO say to me, we get these reports that we don't know what that means. And what you do is you feel like the money is You feel like the money you've spent doesn't make sense because you can't interpret the reports and CEOs are busy. So what I simply say is, I reframe what I heard the business issue is. You're trying to grow your market space in a unique territory. You're trying to go for a different customer segment than you've had currently, or you're trying to sell more of your services to the same audience. They don't know it exists for whatever reason. I simply describe how SEO can be used to reveal the words that that audience is searching for. We reveal in the first 30 days synonyms that are being searched. And then we recommend a way that you integrate that with content and programming and graphics to start to get a lift. And I'll tell CEOs, you'll start to see an impact as soon as 60 days. You'll start to see quality leads within 3 months, and you'll start to see page 1 rankings, particularly if you're nationwide, within 6 months. When they hear these measurable timelines, it's very different. What they normally hear is, trust us, and you'll see the results in a year. And most CEOs aren't looking for that. Most individuals want to be able to produce results more quickly. And if you're in the middle of the organization, you have greater pressure to want to show your executive or your boss results are happening.
Yeah, I love that. And something you said earlier is getting those organic search results on page 1. One of the statistics you reference a lot is that 75% of people trust organic search results over paid search results. So talk a little about why that is. And then I want to transition into Google Ads a little bit and talk about where those play a role.
Transition. Yeah. So two different reference points. Google did its own research project of 3,000 business owners, interviewed them in terms of what results do you trust. Now, Google, of course, is in the paid ad business. I believe they were hoping for a very different outcome. So that's just an interesting position.
It is.
Those owners of 3,000 businesses in the US, not just logistics, businesses across the board, said 75% trust the organic results. I did a separate research study with the University of Wisconsin. We did a regional campaign and learned the same information. So 2 different data points, found the same piece. The reason is, for a high value service, people will take the time to read the organic results. Page 1, maybe top of page 2. Business owners in particular are skeptical of the ads because they don't want to be duped. And if they already have a negative experience with the previous firm, they're going to take the time to read some details a little bit further. That's how you get the trust factor with organic. We have a unique philosophy as it relates to paid ads. What we say for paid ads are, let's be hyper-focused regionally and by service, sometimes even by customer type, which is a little ambiguous when I say that. The idea is we're not running generic branding campaigns. Most of our clients are not household names, so they need very targeted focus. And what makes us unique and what we do together is we'll take the organic work that's ranking well, we'll infuse that in the paid ads, and the ads magically, it's not magic, will rank more quickly, cost our clients less money because we're using organically proven words in the ad copy and the keyword triggers. We also do a weekly report that I write, high level, every week for every client. They just need to know that we're watching it, managing it, and keep it. It's not just running in the background and once a year we dust it off and blow the dust off and give them a report. So.
Yeah, the critical thing you said there is that you're using proven and tested results for the paid ads, because that's so valuable, right, to do that, because you use the SEO results and what goes viral or what works, and then you boost it. You just focus on that, and that's really valuable. And I know just personally myself, and I think a lot of people would agree with this. If I do a search on Google, I skip right past the paid ones. I mean, very rarely do I click a paid one unless I know it's the one that I want. Like, if I'm searching for, retail and Walmart shows up and I was trying to get to Walmart, I'll click on the paid ad.
Yes.
But that's the only time. If it's an unknown, I skip right past the paid ads and go down to the organic ones. And I think a lot of people subconsciously do the same thing. There's a trust factor that's built in that's really, really, valuable.
Let me jump in with one other dimension that I hear from some CEOs, if you don't mind.
Please.
Which is, I'll hear this, particularly in logistics. which is we don't really need SEO because everybody knows our name. Now that may be true from that owner's or leader's point of view, that in their circle, everybody knows them. And so we say two things in response. One is you don't know that next generation of leaders that are coming up in the industry. Number two, if you are well known, it doesn't mean you're top of mind. So just because somebody knows you, when they have a need, let's say for warehousing, and they're Googling warehousing near me, and let's say they're in St. Louis, why not leverage organic SEO for you to show up at that time? And it reinforces the brand recognition. So I just offer that out to our audience to think about from a strategy standpoint.
Yeah, that's right. If they know 3 or 4 providers,
that's
where
right.
do you rank? Where do you rank in that 3 to 4?
Correct.
And their top of mind, prioritization, and that's really critical to continually be, in a way, kind of programming, like encouraging and refreshing a little bit, right? I mean, that's really what it's all about, is subconsciously suggesting things that they're going to come back to whenever the time is right to do that. All right, we're going to pause for a second, Nathan. We got a couple of new segments we got to do on the show. We've had a lot of fun with these lately. So the first one is, every day on the show, we're celebrating whatever national day it is today. Do you know what national day it is today? Some of these are pretty weird. Do you know what it is?
I don't know, but if it's weird, I'm ready.
Today's national day is it's National Pumpkin Day. So this one isn't weird. This one's appropriate. Are you a pumpkin guy? Do you like pumpkin type treats or drinks or anything like that?
Well, not only am I a pumpkin guy, I regularly keep in my cooking cabinet 3 cans of pumpkin pureed all year round.
That's right.
I make stuff. Yeah, I'm actually pretty crazy about pumpkins.
My wife and you are on the same page. We have pumpkin puree all the time, and there's never a bad time to have something with pumpkin in it. What's your favorite pumpkin item? Like, do you like pumpkin pie, pumpkin, loaves, pumpkin bars? Like what?
I like a no-bake pumpkin dessert with lots of whipped cream on top, to be honest.
A no-bake pumpkin dessert. What is that? Like, tell me about this.
I can't reveal the complete recipe, but you can do it. I can't reveal the complete recipe, but it's a no bake. It's very easy to do and
cool.
quick. You get a nice like graham cracker crunch. You get the little filling that I make. A can of whipped cream, and
I make a no bake cookie. It's kind of the same way. It's a secret little family recipe, with oats and some
those are
baking
healthy.
chocolate. Yeah, those are actually much better. Well, there's a lot of sugar in them, but other than that, they're, for the most part, they're pretty good. That's for sure. I'm a pumpkin guy too, and I'm super excited. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Pumpkin pie is probably my favorite.
I cannot carve a pumpkin. Let me just say that I'm horrible.
That is hard. That is hard. Yeah. We've had a couple of good ones, but those are hard. I've actually found that like painting them is much more enjoyable than carving them. So we've kind of gone that route a little bit in the past of painting instead of carving. A little bit easier in that regard. But I'm a pumpkin guy as well. So National Pumpkin Day, everybody. Go get a pumpkin spice latte or pumpkin loaf from Starbucks or whatever and enjoy. And of course, tis the season, which is great. All right. The second one is we've got the random question of the day. We've been doing this for a while. This is really fun. Now, Nathan, this question is so random. I haven't even seen it. I don't know what it is. We let our producer do this every day. It could be funny or serious or could be good or bad. All right. So the random question today is, what's the scariest dream you've ever had? Are you a dreamer?
I'm a dreamer. Two scariest dreams are, one is I slept through my alarm. That's kind of a silly one. I'm very precise every morning. And if I don't triple check my alarm at night, I'm just worried I'm going to sleep.
So if you get a phone call in the morning saying, Nathan, where are you? Like that's the end of the world.
That would end me for the day. I think I'd have to go into therapy for that. I'm very precise. People who know me will know that that's true. Second scariest thing would be I can't find my family. So we're either at an airport or a resort, or we're at a outdoor event, and somehow I've lost track of them. And I'm a family guy, and it would be pretty scary not to,
especially with little kids. It's a little easier when they're older. You kind of feel like you got a shot.
I have girls, so I feel extra sense of dad responsibility.
I feel that I've definitely felt that when we're out places and they get misplaced a little bit. They wander. I got one wanderer. I got one of my daughters that's a wanderer. So we gotta find that. But yeah, so that's it. So mine is
tell me yours.
Yeah, mine is really about falling. So, the idea that if I'm going to be like, I love heights, by the way.
Oh, I don't.
I love heights. Like I love flying. I love being on mountaintops. I love heights. But my one scary dream is when that sensation that I'm falling and I can't do anything about it. Like I don't have a parachute or whatever. I slip. that will shake me, pretty close.
Do you get the leg jolt where you feel like
I
you're going to
do.
fall? Yeah,
I
you
do
do
get
that?
that. Yes, I do get that. Yeah, I definitely have that. And Eric makes a good point. He says, "Wouldn't a scary dream be a nightmare?" Eric, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is a nightmare. I mean, but technically,
Okay.
they're both right. I mean, it
Yeah,
is a scary dream or a nightmare.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll go with either of those. So, anyways, all right. So good question. Not a bad question today. Pretty good question today.
Kind of fun.
All right. So Nathan, let's finish it off with this. When you're thinking about the SEO side of it, let's jump over to the storytelling side just a little bit.
Yeah.
If you were to, in your experience, advise, and this is something I love to do. I love telling a good story. I love crafting that. If you were to give some advice on marrying SEO with good storytelling, what are some of your best tips for that?
So it depends the medium in which that story is being told. So you can do great storytelling on video and have a lot of fun and not worry about SEO on that video. It's telling the story. The magic comes when publishing that in a blog with a little transcript that then infuses some SEO words. I'll give you an example. So if you're looking for a great family-owned 3PL, here's so-and-so and their family story. So the way that intro is written or the little clip inside of YouTube is written, that description tag, you and I have talked about that a little bit with some other clients. That's actually an important way. So you don't take away from the story, but the way it gets published could do it. Secondly, sounds really easy, rotate the banners on the homepage. And one might be very socially minded, let's say a give back to the community. And we don't want to add any direct service words in it, but you might have company culture captured in that. Let's say a value is caring. One of our values, for example, is generously giving back. So we might use that. You're not Googling that, but it's part of our value prop. But the next one might be a service in which you're giving of your time to care for clients, but in a business function. So there's just some little nuances in that regard. What I would say is the entire website can't be storytelling. So less is more, and precision is really helpful on that storytelling is how I would say that.
Yeah, and I would frame that with simplicity as well, like trying to create simplicity in your storytelling as well,
Like
making it super easy. If
Yeah.
somebody comes that in less than 60 seconds or maybe 2 minutes, they can know exactly what you do and what that value is with simplicity and clarity.
Yeah.
I kind of go back to like Apple. Apple started doing back in the day those one word little phrases. Elegant, I think, was one of the words that they used, to describe their product. And it was just one word, and everybody knows what that means when it comes to technology, something that looks good, something that feels good. And I like that.
Let me give the opposite of that. What I see, if I can, just on the logistics space in particular, very frequently I see folks who will pack a web page, could be a very long web page or a blog, with every service they can do. That's also the wrong strategy for two reasons. One, Google's going to look at that and say you're not an expert in any one of those areas because you've crammed it in. Two, the user experience is really poor because they can't follow the storytelling of that service. So that's another way I just give the opposite. Don't be cluttered, and then you can't be so simple that it doesn't mean anything. So
right, just be very clear. Yeah, a lot of clarity. That's for sure. Yeah.
I'll just add the reason we measure every month is that helps you make fine-tune adjustments. So one particular month it might go great or it might not be great, but we can adjust the dial. That's my little hand signal for adjusting the dial on how to do that month by month. You don't have to run it on autopilot. So people like the adjustments.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that we're going to finish with this. We're getting close to 30 minutes. It always goes by so fast.
Yeah,
but we're going to finish with this. Is the market that we're in right now? There's some uncertain times, we'll say. And one of the first things that often happens is the marketing budgets kind of that get pulled back a little bit. But I'm of the opinion that when things are not so sure and there's opportunities for change, this is a time to go all in differentiating yourself as a brand, not only from the storytelling side, but also those search results, because this is the time that your customers, your prospects are going to be looking for new opportunities or new ways of doing business. And you really want to stand out. How do you consider that, or how do you communicate that to CEOs out there who might be saying, well, we're not sure what's going to happen the next few quarters, so we're going to pull back from marketing?
So I find that I tend to best connect with a CEO or leader who has a growth mindset, not a scarcity mindset. So that's one. Second, what I would say is with a growth mindset, there's opportunity as an owner to take market share. And so you can leverage SEO to do that. So the companies that are more fearful or limited, what will happen from a Google perspective, they'll stop updating their website. They may have been doing 4 updates a month. They go to 0. Google will actually drop those results in the next 30 days. I would just say the opportunity is, why not step up and take their place, and
Yeah.
then maintain that long term and build the headwind to stay ahead. Even when the economy comes back, you'll maintain that position better than they would.
Yeah, I love that. And the idea of a scarcity mindset versus a growth mindset, I think that makes all the difference. We're going to end with that today. Nathan, it has been so good having you on the show today. I mean, obviously, we're going to have you back on for round 3. There's too much to talk
That'd be
about.
awesome. Look forward
Always
to
a
it.
pleasure having you on the show. And everybody who's watching, thanks for the comments today. Make sure you come back tomorrow for an incredible episode with Chad Olson of AVRL, doing some amazing things in regards to automation in the technology space. Super excited to have him on the show. And every day at 10:30 a.m. Central for an episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. We will see you guys soon. Thanks, Nathan. Take care.